Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another project for you, and this time it's Christmas cards. And this is one I made recently for a swap group that I'm in, where we were swapping the cards from the new autumn and winter catalogue from Stampin' Up. And so I use this stamp set here, Making Christmas Bright, as you can see, which comes with a coordinating punch to cut out all these lovely little bulbs. And it also has a second set that you can buy to go with it as well, which has all these other images. Look at this cute little penguin just here, and lots of other bulbs as well. So really lovely stamp set, and a really versatile one for all year round. Is the other one, and this one for Christmas I think it'd be really useful. And this card I made because I thought it would be easily making in batches, in volume, because it's just basically stamping, punching and a little bit of colouring. So without further ado, let's get on with the project. So to start off with, we just need a standard card base. So I've created one already. So this is 11.5 by 4 inches, and I've scored it along the long edge at 5 3/4 to create my card base. So I'm going to put that to one side. Next, we've got a layer of Melon Mambo, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this, because this is a way of being frugal with your craft supplies. If I'm creating a card like this one, where most of this pink layer is covered up by the white layer on top, I do what's called gutting. So that is simply where you cut the centre piece out. So at about 3/4 of an inch on the right hand side with 2 centimetres, just line it up. Probably can't see that. There we go. Okay. And you start from about 3/4 of an inch from the top down to about 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimetres from the bottom. And what you do is in effect cut yourself a frame like that. So when that's cut, you've then got a frame which will become the layer on your card, like so. And the central bit you can keep for punching or anything else. The other thing you can do is just punch or die cut out of the middle. I generally punch rather than die cut, because unless your die cutting plates are absolutely perfect, you'll then get some texture and impression on that as well. So either gut, punch, and it just makes your supplies go a little bit further. So this frame can go straight onto our card. So I'm just going to pop that on. And when I put card layers on, I always open my card out, because that way you're working with a nice flat piece of card rather than one that's going to move or bounce up and down a bit. So there's our card layer. Now we need a piece of card for the front, which I've already got here, and I'm going to use my stamping pierce mat. And we're going to, this layer, I should have said, is 1/4 of an inch smaller again. So this is 3.5 by 5 1/4 to layer on. And I'm just going to take a bit of scrap paper, just pop that there. And so now I'm using the bauble string that we've got on that stamp set, and you'll see it actually overhangs slightly on this block, but that doesn't matter because our card actually isn't that width. Normally I'd be bothered about it, but because it's wider, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to hover and then pop that down like so. And I'm using my stamping pierce mat just so it will get a really good impression. So you can see there it's really nice and clear. Then we're going to actually put our sentiment on, which I haven't popped on a block. Okay, I'm going to pop on a block now. There we go, there's my block. So this is where I use my grid paper. So I put my stamp down so that it's kind of lined up with the centre here, and then I line my block up as well. So that just helps make it a little bit more central, so when I actually come in and do my stamping, I stand half a chance of it being square. It is only half a chance because I do tend to get things a little bit wonky. Eclectic, I think, is the answer. So once I've done that, I just come in, line up, and again, using your stamping pierce mat underneath for photopolymer stamps, you get a really nice impression then. So we can pop that to one side as well. We need a little bit of scrap paper or card to stamp our central wreath. And for this I'm using Bermuda Bay ink. And just pop that like so. And then I'm using the 2-inch punch to punch that out. That actually crops the little stars, but I want that so that I can use my 2 1/4-inch punch to get the layers. I just wanted that sort of swirly wreath effect there. So I'm going to punch that out and keep it to one side. And then I'm going to come in with my 2 1/4-inch punch and punch my layer to go with it. Okay. And those quite simply layer up using whatever your preferred glue is, like so. Okay. Next we need another scrap of card, which I've just got here. We're going to do our bulbs. Now these bulbs are absolutely beautiful. They're so pretty. And I've got Merry and Bright, so I'm going to stamp my Merry and Bright. And what I'm going to do is just make sure that I orientate them the same way as our punch you'll see here. There we go. Okay, so just punch that on the edge, just leaving a little bit on the edge there, because you need the space for the little bulb to attach as well. And then Bermuda. And don't worry about your photopolymer stamps staining, because they really doesn't make any difference to the stamping of them. And certain colour, any sort of reds just stain photopolymer stamps. You just get used to it. There you go. So there are 3 little bulbs. So all I do now is come in, line that up with the punch inside, and you'll see I've got a nice little attachment there to attach my little silver socket. Socket, is that what you call it? Yes, probably a socket. Now to create those, I've cut just the merest amount of silver glimmer paper. And it's a centimetre, half an inch wide, and that's because I don't want to put a great big piece in and cut a whole bulb out. I just want to cut a little sliver so that I can pop it through and then punch out 3 of those little top bits, so that those can go on the top of our bulbs. So I'm just going to line my bulbs up like so, and I'm just going to put a dab of wet glue on the end there. Now if your glue is a little bit warm, it might come out a bit quickly, so always before you start putting wet glue on things, I just have double check it to one side. And then these little sockets just pop on the top. So I'm doing these now so we can pop those to one side and they can dry before we attach those to our central theme. So while those are drying, we can come in and just colour these bulbs in. So I've just got my Stampin' Right markers in the same colours. So again, the beauty of Stampin' Up is you get this lovely colour coordination. I've used the Melon Mambo ink, so I've got a Melon Mambo marker. That means that there's a perfect colour match on these. So it just gives your cards a really good finish. And I make sure that I've finished my kind of stamping and colouring before I attach it. So if I make a mistake, then it's not the whole card I've ruined. I can just do an extra layer. So before we put any layers on there, I can just attach that. So again, opening our card out and just centering that on our mat. So. Then I'm going to get my dimensionals, and I've just got my little mini dimensionals because I want the mini ones for attaching the bulbs. And I'm just going to pop 3 on the reverse of this. that in the centre, like so. Now we can attach our little bulbs, and when I attach things, it's always good to do things in odd numbers. It's more pleasing to the eye. Just wiggle those a little bit, make sure they're nicely aligned. And I always do the centre one first. That way I can kind of eyeball the other ones to get them, whereas if I start from the left, I find I end up sort of finishing too far. So if I put my little bulb in the middle there, my and, then make sure I get my merry and bright the right way around. I did have a card that said bright and merry the other day, but hey, there we go. Then you can just arrange those as you like. So there's the front of our card finished. All I'm going to do now is use a little bit of Daffodil Delight and use the string of stars. I'm just going to make sure that's a little bit straighter. I'm just going to pop that on the inside. It does look pretty when you can decorate the inside of your card as well. I'm going to use a little bit of a grey, so I've got smoky slate here, to add the little socket for the bulb. And then I'll come in with my bulb itself. I haven't got my stamping pierce mat, but I think I'm going to be okay for that just this moment. Just hover and align that. And there we have a quick and easy card that you can easily replicate. Sit and do your colouring one evening, do your punching out another evening, and you'll end up with a whole batch of cards that you can send out using non-traditional colours. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you enjoy making it. If you'd like to purchase any of the products, pop along to my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, or my blog, flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and you can follow the links there. Thanks for watching. Bye now.